Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Saltcast. We are back. This is I think this might be our
first episode in like a month that isn't about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
About time.
And this is our official 10th episode, not including our trailer episode. So
I think it's technically 11 because there's a bonus episode.
I included the bonus. I'm pretty sure this is the 10th. I think the
Let's
bonus
go,
would have been
baby.
9th. But regardless,
So then technically this is 9th.
Kind of, yeah. But regardless, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff's been going on.
Lots of news.
Yeah, news stuff. The Marvels just came out. We all saw that. Loki
Invincible
season 2 just
season 2.
ended. Yes, Invincible season 2 also just started.
2 episodes in.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to get into. Who wants to start off with news stuff?
I think I'll start because yours is all Marvel stuff. So we'll save it for the Marvel area.
All right, I have one non-Marvel thing.
So first thing here, boys. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the GOAT of Mario games?
Galaxy.
Galaxy is an acceptable answer, but I disagree.
I'm going to say Mario Sunshine, but I also really like Galaxy.
I would say the acceptable choices are Galaxy or Sunshine.
Sunshine would have been my second choice.
And finally, after 10, 12 something years of just shit Sonic games, we get this trailer of a 3D Sonic game that looks pretty good, and they're inspired by Mario Sunshine.
That's a good sign.
Looks great. It's the first time in 15 years they have a playable Cream, a playable Rouge, multiple characters in this 3D game.
That's cool.
And everyone was like, holy shit, Sonic, good game? That's unheard of. But guess what?
What?
Is it good?
It's an Apple Arcade exclusive.
Oh.
Wow. It's probably shit then.
It looks so good, though.
Dang, that's crazy. I feel like just for the fact that it's Apple exclusive means it's probably not going to be as good as it seems.
Sonic
that
Dream
kills its
Team.
player base for sure.
I know, right? But here's the thing, right? Mobile games get a bad reputation because yes, most of them are shit.
There is good ones.
Yeah, first of all, not in the same genre or anything, but Marvel Snap rocks. And Genshin Impact fully works on mobile and rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's a full game too. It's not what you'd consider a mobile game, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And this Sonic game looks like it's a full game, and then they just body you by putting it on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
I'll probably still play it.
Mobile games deserve the rep that they get because there's very few that are actually legitimately
Well, the problem
good.
is with a lot of mobile games, they're just made to harvest children and their mom's credit card.
Well,
Yeah.
most mobile games are made to squeeze the money out of the Chinese, Japanese market because those people love mobile games. They're 80-70% of the player base of all mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure Call
crazy.
of Duty Mobile is the most played game in the world, or it was at one point, exclusively because of China.
Huh.
Wow.
But yeah, basically, cool Sonic game, unfortunate exclusive. People are saying in the Sonic community that this is the biggest tragedy since Sonic, an older Sonic game was exclusive to the Leapster.
Oh.
Wow.
You guys remember the Leapster?
Yeah, I think I had one.
I'm pretty sure I had one too. That's a throwback.
Yeah, so finally a good-looking Sonic game. Most likely it'll just end up being okay, but the fact that there was something to finally be excited for and then they just bodied us anyways, pretty tragic.
It is.
Yeah.
Moving
Sorry.
on from that, there was a new test pre-alpha skate gameplay clip.
I
thing
did. I
that came
saw
out.
this.
looked pretty cool. I mean, it looks the same as the other ones. It's still super early, but it's coming along.
The movements look nice.
For Skate, which is Skate 4, but it's just called Skate.
Oh, okay. I like the Skate games.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of moves that you can do, like, not involving your board.
There was a dude running on a wall in the trailer.
Yeah, there's some weird parkour stuff. It looks like there's going to be a lot of people in matches, though, which is pretty cool. Like an almost MMO type thing.
That's a cool game to have a MMO style.
Yeah, kind of like, what's that one car game that is like that?
Don't ask me.
Is it Forza?
It was like, no, it's like all of the US, and it's like an open world car game.
I have no idea. Is it like a mainstream thing, or is it?
Thought it was like it was a big deal during the Xbox One time. I don't know, but sure. There was 2 of them. The Crew, that's what it's called.
Oh, I did hear about that, but I never played it.
I haven't heard of it.
Seems like the same idea, though. Other than that, there's been a Steam Deck OLED version announced, which I think is pretty cool. I love the Steam Deck. I use it all the time, the original one. The OLED is supposed to have 50% more battery, obviously an OLED screen, and I think more storage.
Does having an OLED screen mean that the battery is going to, like, that's why it's 50% more battery?
I don't know, but OLED rocks.
The one problem I will say with OLED is that it's a glossy screen, which if you're playing outside, super annoying.
I mean, I don't really play outside much, but that's probably true.
Like if you're on a bus or in a car or whatever, worth taking into account.
Yeah. I had an unbacklit Game Boy, and I was fine with that out in the wild, so.
Fair enough.
Slightly bigger news. Have you guys seen the Last Airbender Netflix trailer?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
I think I saw some of it. I think I saw the actors.
Yeah,
it looks pretty accurate, I guess, to the lore, but I don't like it. Like, so obviously looks like costumes, you know, like it almost feels like a cosplay instead of like a show.
I didn't feel like that. I thought I liked the costumes, especially with the Kyoshi Warriors. I thought they looked really good. I thought Zuko looked good.
The Kyoshi Warriors looked really good. It was mostly like Katara and Sokka looked like, I don't know, their clothes seemed too perfect to me, you know?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I thought
Azula looked really good.
And Ozai looked pretty good.
Ozai looked good. Appa was better than I thought he was going to look.
Yeah, Appa and what's the
Momo?
lemur's name? Momo.
How could you forget Momo?
Yeah, they took me out of it a little bit, but it wasn't bad.
Well, it's hard. It would be hard to make Appa look realistic.
Yeah.
And keep his cuteness, you know?
They didn't really show much, though. Like, basically, it looks like it's going to be season 1 is book 1 up to the North Pole, probably.
That's kind of how I assume they do it.
And there wasn't much bending in the trailer. There was, like, fire bending, I think.
Yeah, there was a little bit of fire.
I think Aang used airbending once, but I don't think there was any water bending.
It looked like it piqued my interest enough that where I will probably give it a chance.
I'll probably try it out, but I mean,
I'll watch it because I'm a fan.
It's not a great sign since the like actual creators of the original show left because they said they hated the way the story was going.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, but
that's concerning.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I guess we'll see.
Moving on from that, apparently all just rumors, but apparently there's supposed to be some kind of GTA 6 news in December.
Yeah, I heard about this.
That was posted
also
on Twitter, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what like the deal is. I don't think it's actually like confirmed or anything, but we'll have to see.
Heard about this.
maybe it'll just be a confirmation of something we already know. Like, everyone already knows it's going to be in Miami, but it's not technically confirmed yet, so they might just say that.
There's been so many leaks already. Like,
that one
know
huge
a lot
leak
of what's going to happen.
that came out a while ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So, I don't know. Like, maybe it'll be crazy and they'll be like coming, 2024. It'll be a release date or something crazy like that, Christmas. Or a trailer. No way. There's
Christmas.
No way. There's no way they'd say it comes out next week.
Could you imagine? That would be like the ultimate flex.
That would like actually break the internet.
That would.
It would be great. I think as far as games coming out, like nothing right now in the gaming space could be a bigger deal than a GTA coming out. I think back in the day, before Starfield came out, you probably could have said that, Elder Scrolls might be there too, but GTA has an impact like outside of gaming as well. It's not just gaming, everyone loves to hate on it in like the non-gaming area when GTA comes out.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember begging my parents to buy me GTA for Christmas.
He said, "Mom, there's hookers."
Yeah, and then my mom was like, "You gotta play with your father in the room." That ended pretty quickly.
Oh, that's funny. But that's exciting. GTA 6, that's like, at least of things I can think of now,
I'm excited.
That's my most
that.
hype thing that I know of coming out in the future.
Yeah, that's probably like one of my biggest, like most anticipated upcoming like major games.
I think it's most people's though. Like most gamers, if you ask them.
Yeah, I would say most people are saying GTA, Elder Scrolls. There's probably one other one that I can't think of right now. What's something else that hasn't been out in like a million years?
I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Half-Life
Moving
3.
on. Yeah, right. But that's like, I mean, Half-Life is super popular, but that's like a PC gamer thing, not really like an all of gaming thing.
Didn't they get ported to console?
Yeah, but no one cares on console.
Okay.
Like most Valve games, no one cares about on console.
Portal was fun.
Yeah, I guess, but definitely not as big as it was on PC.
Fair enough.
Also, Portal 2 is like way better.
I was meaning the whole series, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. To continue on the gaming, there's been some Halo Infinite controversy where
God.
They what was it? They had like their stupid shop items or whatever, and basically like things come back in rotation, and every time something old comes back, they just make it more expensive.
Wow.
So people are like, "Yo, what the hell?"
Oh, I get it.
I have no interest in Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite sucks. I mean, it did. I don't know if it still does, but I mean, people only complain about it. I haven't played it in like over a year, so who knows?
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 like broke PlayStation records for being like their best-selling PlayStation game of all time.
Not surprised. It was super
Apparently
hyped.
they also changed Spanish, I heard.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about that, Bert? That little controversy?
Didn't they use like a gender neutral thing? Or am I thinking of something else?
They like changed the Spanish language because if you like put the Spanish translations up, or is it just the subtitles that do it?
No, it's the entire Spanish version of the game.
Okay, yeah. So they say certain things and they take out
just the way Spanish works in general. 80% of the freaking entire language is gendered. So you have like masculine versus feminine
and they
words
changed it
and
for like a
verbs and
neutral
stuff.
term.
Yeah, for all of them.
But there is
like,
no neutral
some people
term in Spanish.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
No, I know. That's what I'm referring to.
It's just funny because people are like, I can't even understand what's happening.
Yeah, I saw a Spanish streamer like react to it, and he like was playing the game, heard the Spanish, and was like, "Oh, these subtitles got to go off."
Yeah, that's weird. That's one of those things where they're just like overly trying please
too hard.
Yeah, to please a certain group, and you're taking away from another group just to try and like check boxes like that.
Imagine thinking you know better Spanish than what's existed for thousands of years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Funny stuff, though. I mean, it's probably old news, but I avoided so much Spider-Man like info until I beat it. So otherwise, I probably would have heard about that sooner. But I was not clicking on any Spider-Man stuff until I finished like playing it. You know?
Yeah,
you had to avoid the spoilers.
Of course. What else has gone on? So the new season of The Boys had its posters released. I mean, It doesn't really show anything, but that means it's got to be probably within 6 months. So that's cool.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I do love The Boys. It's a top 5 series for me. And I think the last season was like the peak of The Boys. So hopefully
did you watch Gen V?
With it. No, but I do want to.
I heard it was pretty good.
I also heard that, yeah.
Yeah, I heard good things also.
In like shows and movies and stuff, apparently the Knuckles show, which takes place between the Sonic 2 movie and the Sonic 3 movie, got delayed from December to January.
That's
kind of a tragedy, but at least it wasn't too far.
Yeah, it's only a month.
Did you hear? Actually, I don't know if this is on your news or not, Alex. If it is, sorry. But Captain America 4 got delayed.
All their movies got delayed for next year.
Everything Marvel got delayed. Captain America is getting like completely reshot though. They're like doing some major. Apparently, the story is like they had some test screenings and people absolutely hated it, and so they're like redoing everything. Apparently, is what they're doing.
Classic.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign.
You do want to hear a good sign though. Apparently, Sonic Movie 3 has been filming the last however long, and at least as far as people know, it seems like there are no live-action actors for this one.
I kind of prefer that.
Yeah, to me, that's so hype, because that means we're focusing on the cool characters. Except for, only question though, I actually liked Eggman, so I don't know if he's not in it, or if like maybe he just doesn't have a big role, or maybe there is live action actors and people just don't know, you know?
Shortly after Sonic 2 came out, or before, Jim Carrey said that he was like done acting.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was
hiring?
Like, I don't know if he was like serious about that or not though. Sometimes people just
love Jim Carrey.
Who knows?
Great actor.
He is a good Eggman.
He's perfect.
He has the face for it, like the facial expressions.
Yeah, he's funny. But to me, that's good news. No live action actors. Like I said, only exception being Eggman I do like as far as the live action people. But if we're actually focusing on Shadow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love Shadow. Cool. That'll
Shadow's
be pretty
the best
epic.
character in the verse.
I think they'll play his song.
He's got the best shoes.
I hope so.
He has his hover boots.
That's it. That's all I got for today in my news.
Bert, do you have any news?
Nope.
Okay, I'll go through mine then.
Good luck.
Loki season 2 just ended. Can't really talk about it too much because you guys haven't seen it, but wow.
I have heard that everyone loves it, and I
do plan on watching it. I heard it was good too.
It was so good. The ending is amazing. I think the Loki season 1 and 2, like combined, like if you look at them together, because that's really how you should. They said when they were making it, it was like season 1 is like chapter 1 of a book, and season 2 is like chapter 2, or it's like 2 halves of the same book, basically. And it
never heard of a 2-chapter book.
You get my point. But it fits so nicely together, and it creates like I think that Loki has the best arc in all of the MCU now. I think before
I have
it was
heard
probably,
that people are saying that he's above Tony now for like character progression.
Yeah, I think he beats out Tony, and I think another like character from the MCU you could put up there is Rocket. Rocket has a really good arc. Who else has good arcs in the MCU? I'm trying to think.
Thor did have a good one until they ruined it.
Yeah, Thor's was okay.
They ruined. Yeah, they did ruin Thor.
Cap's arc is like kind of one note, but it's all right, I guess. But yeah. So Loki's...
Ant-Man also had an okay arc, but
yeah, that's true.
Ruined it.
Man, but oh my gosh, there's so much that happened in that I want to talk about that I can't. Like so many, like, oh man, Loki has become like crazy. It's so cool. You guys got to watch it.
I'll get to it eventually. I really wanted to watch She-Hulk though.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Oh, let me give you my rating for Loki. I give it a 10 out of 10. I think it was a perfect show. Like the 2 seasons combined
really?
are 10 out of 10.
Here's my guess. I think that I am going to end up giving it an 8. I don't know what happens in season 2, but I would rate season 1 an 8, and I just feel like you're overhyping it.
I'm rating it a 10 out of 10 for multiple reasons. So, one, obviously the ending gives it a point itself. Like that last episode is perfect, so that adds a point right there. But the writing in the show is so good. The acting from all of the cast is great. Tom Hiddleston absolutely destroys it as Loki. He like embodies the character better than, or just as good as any other actor that's played a MCU character. He just dominates the role. The rest of the cast is really good. Some of the shots in the movie, like the cinematography, is really beautiful. Like the way that they use the camera and the way that they use music within the show is super good.
But
it like hits emotional points perfectly. They have...
Is it this camera work you're saying? Because let me just bring it to like a top level camera type movement thing. Is it on the level of the Kingsman movies?
The fighting in the Kingsman movies are insane.
That's like the
one of my
top
favorite
camera work I've ever seen in a movie.
Yes, the bar fight.
I'm not sure about that, but as far as like
and the one with the whip.
That's a funny one, yeah. That is the second one. It's like a Denny's kind of.
As far as like camera shots and like things and the way that the show is shot, it's like really well done. And then their sets, like they spend like a lot of time on their sets. They have like practical sets and actual like ceiling lighting.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, so they're not like overly CGI, and it's just like you can tell it's 2 actors standing in front of a green screen.
They actually went to another planet and filmed.
Yeah, so they have like really good physical sets and really good lighting, and it's like like the writing is very original and like keeps you engaged and stuff. Like, so on those points is what I'm giving it a 10 on. You can like or dislike the story or however it is, but as a show
I feel like
and how
the
it's put
story
together,
matters. The story is part of the show.
I'm just saying, if you're only looking at the story, then you may rate it lower. But the story itself is still really good, and the writing is why it's so good.
I'll have to see.
And I'm going to be extra critical when I'm watching it, and I'm going to make sure there's no logical missteps.
I literally just explained
the
why.
Expert on logic.
Oh my god.
Well, no, not claiming to be, but I shouldn't notice any apparent, obvious flaws in logic.
All right, well, you'll have to watch it.
I will.
Anyway, the actor strike is officially over. That ended like I don't know. I may have already said this. I can't remember, but that ended like
a while ago. I feel like.
No, that was I said the writer's strike ended, but the actors was still on strike.
The other half of Hollywood's.
Yeah, so the actors came to their agreement.
F2
now
is free.
Now Hollywood's like back in full swing and everything's kind of getting back underway. That's kind of why Marvel had all those delays. Now the game industry
can get fucked exclusively.
Yeah, so that's good news.
I'm looking at your bottom news thing. You should save that for the review section.
It's not really connected to that though.
Keep it moving.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, Marvel Spotlight. So that's a new thing that Kevin Feige and the people at Marvel just announced. It's like it's kind of like their Marvel one. Actually, Marvel Spotlight comes from the comics. It's like a series that they used to have back in the day that it would like focus on like very specific characters for like one shot like mini issues or something, or like extended
that
issues.
reminds me of something.
And
After you're done, I have a question.
Okay. And so now they have that on Disney Plus where they're going to be like focusing like short series on specific characters. And the first one that's going to be like under that Marvel Spotlight banner is Echo. And that's convenient because the Echo trailer just came out. And surprisingly, like I wasn't very interested in Echo. I didn't really like her in Hawkeye. But the trailer kind of peaked. She's the deaf girl with the messed up leg, or she's missing a leg, I think.
Oh yeah, man, Hawkeye.
She's
what
the one that
show.
Yeah, she's the one that shot Kingpin at the end.
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, so the trailer surprisingly looked pretty good, and it was like way darker by Disney and Marvel standards. Like you literally see a guy get shot in the neck, and like there's blood, and there's like some brutal pieces to it, which was surprising. So I was automatically like a little bit more interested already. But if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's like it feels a little different in tone and in like
I haven't seen that.
in themes. So it's definitely darker, which is something that people have wanted from the MCU and from Disney for a while now.
Speaking of darker MCU type things, I've been seeing a lot of people being like, which of these are you most hyped for? And it's like Echo, Daredevil, something else I can't remember. But is there a reason that like the Marvel zombie thing keeps coming up a bunch?
Marvel
like,
Zombies.
Is there something new involving that? Or because I've been seeing that come up a few times.
Yeah, Marvel Zombies just relaunched in the comics. So there's like a continuing story going on right now. So that may be like the relevance. And
that's probably why.
Yeah, and What If Season 2 is supposed to come out this year. And that's going to have like a focus on Marvel Zombies like it did in the first season, which was like probably my favorite part of What If.
Yeah. I was just wondering because I saw a lot of like those YouTube poll things and Marvel Zombies was on like all of them. And I was like, is there a Marvel Zombies thing that I just missed? Because I've not seen anything about it.
I think it's probably to do because of the new comic that is going on right now. That's my guess. Another thing with the Marvel Spotlight thing. I don't know if it's only Marvel Spotlight or if it's just for the Echo show, but they're releasing on Disney Plus and on Hulu, which is another good sign that it's going to be like more mature and going to have like the TV MA rating, which is good because Hulu is usually where Disney puts their darker stuff. But the fact that it's going to be on both is a good sign.
You have to like manually change your Disney Plus to show those things, though it defaults not to.
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, check out the Echo trailer. It's pretty. Kingpin's in it, so like he's alive. Shocker. Most people knew that though. Daredevil's in it for like a split second. If you blink, you'll miss him, but he is in it. So that's pretty cool. What were you saying about this, Bert, that you didn't... I don't think it really has anything to do with the Marvels, this last thing I was going to talk about.
Okay.
So there's like this rumor going around that the MCU and Disney want to like move away from Jonathan Majors' Kang and try to like pivot towards like Doctor Doom. I don't know if you guys heard about this.
The X-Men and all that.
Doctor Doom is not part of the X-Men.
It has nothing to do with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Keep talking.
He's more close with the Fantastic Four than anything.
Yeah,
no,
Doom's
I know,
like a major Fantastic Four villain. But it kind of makes sense. I think this was probably like somewhat of a plan that they've had anyway. I don't think that this is them just like major course correcting and saying no to Kang. I think Kang is still going to be...
Didn't Kang's actor have some kind of controversy
legal
or
trouble?
something? Didn't he like beat someone's ass or something like that?
I'm not sure exactly what happened. Apparently, a woman that he was with or knows alleged that he assaulted her. I don't know if that's true or not, but he is going through like the legal proceedings.
That might be why they don't want him anymore as well.
Well, that's been going on for a while.
Yeah, but even if it's not true, they still are like, get out of here. I mean, look at the Johnny Depp thing.
Yeah. So that's part of it, and then obviously the MCU is like in a low right now, like from critical reception and fan reception. So
I mean,
that's
Doom
another
is
part
hype.
of it.
Doom is probably a top Marvel villain. He probably is my favorite Marvel villain, actually, unless I'm forgetting
I
someone.
feel like they have to be careful though, because if they mess up, like Doom and introducing all that stuff, it would probably be pretty much over. I'd say
Yeah, you definitely can't mess up
fans
Doctor
would
Doom.
definitely lose trust. And
I think fans have already lost trust, like at least a majority of people have. But if you mess up Doom, yeah, you're done. You got to reboot the whole thing, like hard reset. Like, if you mess up Doom, I think Doom is just so iconic and such a big villain and a popular
I think there's
character.
a few things you can't mess up, right? It's like Doom, Spider-Man, probably X-Men, and then those are probably like the main ones that everyone loves, that if they got messed up, it would be like over.
Yeah. Fantastic Four right now, if they mess those up again, that would be a bad one. But it kind of makes sense in the sense of the comics if they do go from Kang to Doom, because they can use Kang as like the role of, because they're doing Kang Dynasty and then they're doing Secret Wars right after that. And Doom is a major player in Secret Wars. From the original Secret Wars in 84, or is it 85? I can't remember, regardless. But he's a major player in Secret Wars, so it would make perfect sense if he came out of Kang Dynasty as a major player, and then going into Secret Wars, he's the main villain instead of Kang. It would actually make sense.
that'd be a cool.
Yeah, I mean, Kang's lame as hell. He has not
I
impressed
agree.
me ever. So
He's impressive in Loki. That's like the only time that he actually feels threatening. But Quantumania, yeah, they made him look dumb.
yeah, imagine losing to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He even said he killed Ant-Man, and he still lost to Ant-Man.
Yeah. He's more threatening in Loki, and his threat builds in season 2 also. It kind of helps it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I remember watching Quantumania, thinking when they introduced Kane, and he was like giving his whole speech, I was like, how the hell are they gonna wrap this up in one movie?
yeah.
And well, I was disappointed in the way they wrapped it up in one movie.
Yeah. But would be, I think it could work, and I would actually like to see Doom in Secret Wars. But that's all the stuff I had for news.
Should we talk about the main piece now?
Yeah, we can kind of transition now into the Marvels discussion. So we all saw the movie. We saw it opening night.
I saw it last
I
night.
think it was Friday. You saw it last night. What did you guys think?
I thought it was terrible.
Terrible? Like how bad? Like, explain a little bit.
Like there's points where I was genuinely bored, and I was thinking, when is this movie gonna end?
Okay. I didn't feel bored ever. I didn't think it was good, but I didn't feel bored.
I have complaints about Captain Marvel too.
I thought that the first half of the movie was actually really good. I liked it a lot up until the part where they started singing, and then it just sucked for the rest of the movie.
I think that's what really turned me off, was the singing.
And that singing part was like probably
Bad.
the second worst bit I've seen in any Marvel movie, second only to those screaming goats.
Oh,
One
from
thing
Thor.
I will complain about was, you know how in the beginning she was like on the moon?
Yeah.
For one, why wasn't she not wearing a face mask?
Which
Captain
one?
Marvel?
Any of like the people that were there, like I forgot the villain's name.
Darben?
No one knows the villain's name.
Like, yeah, her. Like, why didn't they have like oxygen masks on and stuff?
They're
were on a
aliens.
moon.
They're Kree.
But they needed it for their own planet. Why don't they just remove their oxygen if their air is poisonous and then live in the vacuum of space?
I don't know.
Because they're assholes. They just wanted to be assholes.
And then
why didn't they just grab one of the
moon
billions
looked
of free
terrible.
stars instead of a sun that was
That's
in
what-
use?
Exactly.
The reason
They're just
another
assholes.
the reason that the villain wanted to take the Earth's the whole
Was
Well,
to hurt
let's-
Captain Marvel. That's kind of...
yeah, that was the main point.
So she
She's-
was okay with destroying a whole planet, like how her planet was destroyed,
Yes.
Yeah.
times 3, just to get back at one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, they're just assholes.
If you're gonna like
Look,
nitpick like every single little thing like about like a villain's motivation, like you can do the same thing for any villain if you look hard enough.
Well,
if you look at
because-
Thanos,
Yeah, I mean,
like
you could
Normally
say-
with villains, though, when they explain their reasoning, you kind of like can sometimes think, "Huh, that makes sense."
Personally, I think the biggest, dumbest reasoning ever is Thanos. This guy could just make more anything and decided to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, why not
Exactly,
just
so-
double the universe's resource?
And that
instead of
movie's
half
still good, you know? Like,
That's
it's not
my
like
point.
that's
Yeah.
the reason the movie sucks. The
That's
movie
my point.
sucks
the
because the characters are lame, not because of the villain's reasons.
okay, I disagree with that point too. But I don't like the villain. I think the villain. I even have it wrote it down. Cookie cutter villain, really bland. Like the performance isn't very good. Like she has shitty lines. Like she doesn't give you anything really to like work with. Like you kind of just like brush it off. Like okay, you can accept the motivation and everything, but it's not interesting and it's not like something that's like, oh wow, this is like gives me like really like deep connection to the villain, or like I really feel for this, or blah blah blah. Like you don't really.
But a good movie should make you feel that.
Okay, well, do you feel that for Thanos?
Sorta. His reasoning made sense.
You just got
No.
done saying how this person's reasoning didn't make sense, and
Well,
then we
like-
just agreed that Thanos didn't make any sense. But now you're saying Thanos makes sense.
I don't know how to describe it.
I'm just saying, like, you got to look at them fairly. Like, the villain can still be bad, but not be the entire reason that the movie is bad.
Yes, fair enough.
But what Sebastian?
Look, this villain is just as bad as frickin' Whiplash from Iron Man 2.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. Marvel's
But
always had a
honestly,
villain problem.
Iron Man 2, not great.
Exactly.
Also, why do they even put Thanos in the trailer?
Okay, that's
Why'd they put Iron Man in the trailer?
That was
Why'd
kind
they
of
put
fucked,
Captain America in the
to
trailer?
be honest.
That's a valid point. I agree with that.
I'll tell
That
you
was
why.
So stupid.
Because no
That was
one cares
underhanded.
about these people.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they knew that nobody was going to watch the movie, and they knew that nobody was going to be interested in it. So they're like, well, we got to try and get some kind of interest. So let's put our two most popular characters and our most popular villain and our most popular movie as the trailer for this movie, which was
Even though
really
Thanos
shitty
is a mid-villain,
marketing
just
move.
saying.
and really stupid. So I agree with that. That was horrible marketing, and I'm
So
sure they
you-
got
I
people to
did
go
like
just for
Miss
that.
Marvel.
I want to jump back to the beginning, though, because, like I said, I thought the movie was good for the first half.
Yeah,
Maybe
I would
not
say the
half,
first
maybe
act.
more like 30-40%.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the whole first act. The whole first act, I liked it for the most part too.
Yeah, like, I liked pretty much every scene with Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Sometimes she was a little too much, but overall I liked her.
I liked her a lot. She was definitely the best part of the movie.
I agree.
But the thing is, like I said, like from that singing part forward, nothing is good, which is a shame because it like I went in thinking the whole movie was going to be shit because everyone's like, this movie's going to suck. And then I watched like 30 minutes ish, whatever it is of it. And I was like, wow, I'm enjoying this movie.
I know,
guess it's like, you know, so I'm now at the point where I'm like, I'm liking this. And then they're like, all right, we've got him to a point where he would care if it sucks now. Now let's make it suck.
Yeah, so I agree with that.
It's a shame because it's the exact same as the fucking TV show. Ms. Marvel's
Yeah, it is.
TV
It's
show
good
is
in the
so
beginning and then
good
just-
for 2 episodes.
Then 180.
Yeah, once they, yeah. But I agree with your point. The first act, they had me convinced for a second. I was like, what are people talking about? Like this, I'm actually enjoying myself. Do I just not know what bad movies are or something? And then boom, the second act hits. They start singing and all of that stuff going on that planet. And I'm like, okay, yeah, now I get it. It like slams on the brakes hard.
Yeah,
and it
I was
never
liking,
recovers either.
Yeah,
I was
it
liking
definitely
the
doesn't.
setup for like space being ripped and whatever. But that was cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say? It was all cool, and then
Oh,
all right, we're on a singing planet.
I also really liked that first fight where they were teleporting.
I have a couple problems with that.
Yeah, real quick, before you say that, I just want to say this. I have this written down. It says, good first act, falls apart in the second, and limps through the final act. Like you said, it never recovered.
Yeah, I got bored, like, towards the end.
I mean, luckily it wasn't
the
long,
movie
right?
felt long. Like, it felt long.
To me,
then
it did not feel long. To me, it ended, and I was like, what the hell? It never started.
Yeah, it did not feel long to me either. It felt like it wrapped up super fast. But it definitely, once it hit the second act, that's when it goes to shit.
Here's one thing
You know
no
what
one's
my
talking
complaint-
about. This movie, as bad as it may be, is the first time in a long time that a Marvel movie had really good CGI. There was no bad CGI.
Yeah,
The moon.
nothing that really like takes you out of it completely, and you're like, what the heck?
The moon in the opening ruined it for me. But then that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a green screen. So, but like all the
One
stuff
thing
in
I will
space
say-
was pretty good, and the other planet and
That
stuff.
water planet looked really good, I will say.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't interesting, though, because that water planet was, like, annoying as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Also,
I was
did they
literally
even explain
in the
whatever
theater.
happened to that planet? Like, did everyone there lose their
No,
ocean? Or
they said at the
There's-
end that they
yeah.
fixed. I forget what they say exactly, but something about how they were fixing the planets. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's like
how.
a throwaway line. They're like looking at a computer
also
screen.
kind of
they're
messed
like,
up
everybody's recovered.
that their
Basically,
princess
another
just
one of your
left them to die.
classic Marvel movies where by the end of it, none of that could have happened and nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think. Like, I don't think I liked anything after that, like, singing part. And you know what's a shame? It was my idea to go see this movie. And when I got to the singing part and I brought two people with me, I honestly was just embarrassed. I was like, I can't believe I invited people to see this. Like,
That's brutal.
I mean, to
And
be
then I
fair,
was
one of them
thinking-
was me, so it was like I expected this.
and then I was thinking on the side, too, how much I spent for those tickets, and I just felt worse.
Yeah, I
I
went.
spent
My tickets are free.
$72 to see that movie
Why don't you guys get the unlimited thing?
because I've seen one movie in the last 6 months.
Fair enough.
And it was not worth it.
Okay. So let's kind of go through this. That first act was kind of
Was
where
good.
we all agreed that it was pretty good. What
I
did you
liked-
guys think about the three leads? Did you guys like them?
I liked Miss Marvel. I thought Captain Marvel was better than her movie, but average at best. And I thought the other girl had almost no reason to be there.
I agree with that.
What did you-
She's so goddamn pointless and lame that they refuse to even give her a name.
Okay,
like
yeah,
every
that-
single
I know,
time
that
they're like,
bothered
let's
me.
give you
That
a cool
bothered me.
name. And that, like, I don't know her name because they never freaking gave her one
Yes.
besides her boring name.
Yes.
And then they're like, you're so goddamn useful. Let's just kick you out of the whole universe because no one cares.
Yes.
Okay.
So
One thing that bothered me there was, do you know how at the end when she was like, "Guys, I'm gonna have to patch it from the other side,"
We'll get
and
there.
then
we'll get
and then
there.
they act surprised when she was like, "I can't make it through." You know, you remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Okay.
I thought that was stupid.
The fact that they don't give her a superhero name in a superhero movie, that just didn't make any sense
It's
to me.
wild.
Like, it's a superhero movie. The whole point is to, like, we're focused on the superhero. Your villain is shit anyway. Like, at least give her a superhero name. Like, they teased it like a bunch of times. Like, Kamala Khan says a bunch of names from the comics. She says
Professor
Spectrum. She says
Marvel.
Photon. She says
They were gonna settle
Captain
Spectrum.
Marvel too. Like, Monica in the comics was the original first Captain. Well, she's technically the second, but she took the Captain Marvel name before Carol ever did.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, all I'm saying is the fact that she never got a name literally means, like, I wasn't exaggerating. I guess I do because you just said it right now. But I had no idea what the hell to call her. Like, I was like, I don't know who this character even is.
Yes, they should have just given her the name of Spectrum or Photon or something, like one of them. Like, pick one of them.
And I didn't mind it being a joke. Like, I thought it would have been fine if, like, Ms.
did
Marvel
it at
ended
the
up
end.
naming her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they never did.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. That part bothered me. And as far as like Monica Rambeau, that character goes, like I kind of agree with you. Like I feel like she was for like I don't understand. Like she was in there kind of as like a little bit of the drama between her and Carol because of Carol leaving
no
Earth.
one cared.
But it felt like kind of forced. Like it didn't feel supernatural. And then they just like group hug and it's okay. Like they should have gone deeper into that. Like I thought that was a missed opportunity. Like you could have gotten some emotional like depth from both of them, from Carol and Monica and their relationship if you like went into that more.
Well,
but
I
they
also
kind
think
of just
she's
brush
just
over it.
being like kind of a bitch. Like, are you seriously think that you're fucking more important than like the thousands of planets this woman saves? Like, shut up. She did not need to come see you. She's been busy.
Yeah. Then it kind of does
but
fall
I
apart
needed
though
you.
because
It's like, for what?
I also kind of didn't like how Carol said that, well, I didn't want to come back because I didn't want you to think of me as a villain that destroyed all these the Kree planet or Hala or whatever.
Yeah, could
I
have just
thought
not
that was
told
kind of
her.
stupid. Like, well, what about all the other planets that you did save? Like that that felt kind of dumb
Like the
to me.
Kree weren't good. I don't think.
Well, I mean,
They're-
their government wasn't, but they had innocent people on their planet.
Yeah, well, they're okay now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is her character, like, she did not need to be in the movie.
If my one thing that kind of annoyed me was Captain Marvel felt super bad about destroying that planet and like ruining everything, and she never tried to fix it or like restart the sun, which was super easy for her to do.
I don't think she
Took
knew that she
zero
could do
effort.
that.
She never tried. Like if you felt terrible about
Dude.
doing something, wouldn't you try your hardest to fix it?
I wouldn't
Well,
think
here's
of
the
like
thing.
throwing myself into a sun. Like that wouldn't have been my first
Here's the
thought.
thing about it. There was a few times in that movie that nameless superhero girl somehow just knew like crazy information. She would just throw out these big science words. She's like, just do this, blah, 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 chain reaction, power the sun.
Fracting.
Or, like when space like opened another dimension, something that's never been seen before, she's like, looks like it's clearly a dimensional rift. All I need to do is go in there. Like she just knows the exact like protocol to deal with these things every time.
She was definitely used as like the science person to just like give you like somewhat
Move
of an
the story
explanation.
forward.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't
how
like
do you
that
know
either.
that? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
the way I don't like how they
when
used
they discovered
Monica.
time travel. They did it better than any of the science they did in this movie.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
just
like how
funny
they
because
used Monica at all.
these were like groundbreaking events that have never been seen before, and she just like
They were so
had
casual
it down
about it.
she just always had a game plan that worked.
Well, I mean, Carol kind
Yeah,
of
she
knows.
just knew what to do.
Carol kind of knows about some of that stuff, like the portals and stuff. Like that's a thing that's like science in the in universe, like that has been established. Like they've always
The
been able to jump
multi-dimensional
between.
thing to a different universe.
The whole new universe thing hasn't been a thing, but the portals and like that concept has existed.
No, I know that.
Yeah, that part was fine.
She
I'm
explained
just
it. She was
the
like,
fact
it's an
that-
old Kree technology.
she was like, just you two shoot your power into me, I'll absorb it, and then tether
Also-
reality back together. It's a very simple
Yeah.
task.
Why did the villain explode when she had both of the bracelets on, but not Miss Marvel?
Well, Ms. Marvel wasn't trying to do anything wild with them.
Yeah, Miss Marvel wasn't using them, but it was because
She was using them. She literally put them together.
Yeah, but she wasn't trying to like move an entire sun.
All right.
I think she was just like using them to charge the fucking.
But she was like, you got to
randomly.
use the same amount of energy.
and
No, she said the energy of you two combined should equal what she used to
Okay.
open that hole.
yeah,
So maybe
And
it was, maybe it
Kamala-
was just less.
So
It's not
at best, she was using half.
yeah, and Kamala's power doesn't come from the Bengals anyway. It comes from herself because she's a mutant.
Yeah, so she might have been using some of her power as well.
Yeah,
but
and
either
so
way,
when
like
Dar-Ben put
at
the
most,
Bengals
she was
on-
using half the power that.
Yeah, when
Other
Dar-Ben puts the
lady
Bengals on, they
opened-
just destroy her because she doesn't have any power, so she just gets destroyed by the power of the bands.
Here's a durability diff.
What a wild ending where like the main bad guy just dies and they did
Just
nothing.
explodes.
Like they could have
Like,
let her just get the bands,
okay.
and she could have just killed herself, and everything would have been solved.
Yeah, you guys should have really just let her try and take the sun earlier.
I was thinking that. I was just like, just let her do everything.
I like one thing I did like and these are the most fun parts of the movie, is the chemistry between the three leads. I liked how they all interacted. I thought Carol was better than she was in her first movie. I thought like she was much more likable. She was
all
more
three
funny.
of them, though?
Yeah, I liked all three.
I seriously feel like Nameless Lady was just useless. Like she didn't have a
She
point.
was.
No, she had some funny moments.
Minus
with,
the science.
I'm not talking about like
she
her
would just
usefulness.
throw out
I'm
random
talking about
science.
how like she interacted with Kamala and with Carol. I thought like there was funny moments and they had like some cool moments and stuff. Like
I
when,
did not like her moments with Captain Marvel. I felt like they were just dumb. And then I can't remember any with Ms. Marvel.
Neither can I. I'm trying to think of
I'm thinking of,
interactions
like, on
with
the
characters she's had.
on the ship, like they were all interacting together and they were
Training
talking about
montage?
stuff. Well, that was one, and then when they get to the singing planet, when Carol's like going through her dance thing, and Monica has like the 2 drinks, and her and Kamala are talking. Like I thought her and Kamala's conversation was kind of funny.
That was fine, but I think the
She had
highlight
some
of the
funny-
movie for me was the Kamala and Captain Marvel moments. I actually liked those.
Yeah,
yeah.
Kamala's arc actually I liked probably the most. Like when they go to in the beginning of the movie, this is all in the first act too. When they go to that Kree planet for the peace meeting, for the peace summit.
Oh, and she wanted to try and save people. They're
Yeah,
like,
and
no,
then
just let
Carol,
them die.
Yeah, Carol's like, you have to pick your battles. Like you can't save everybody.
I feel like
type
you
of
could have
thing.
saved more people, though. At least Captain Marvel could have.
I mean, maybe you could have saved some, but then you risk everybody else
Better than
dying
none.
too.
Well, can they just left without her? She can fly on her own.
Yeah, but what's she gonna do with them? Just carry 2 Kree in her hands?
At
Or
least.
2
Come on the
scrolls?
spaceship, leave the doors open, hover off the planet's surface.
The scrolls would just die as soon as she left.
Whatever. Point is, the beginning was good. Okay, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that kind of bothered me was the way their powers worked. Like the switching wasn't consistent.
Yes, it was. Everybody's saying this, but
Not-
obviously nobody paid attention
Didn't
to the
they say
movie.
every time they use their powers, they switch?
No.
No.
So what did they say?
When they use their powers at the same time, that is when they switch.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie, whenever they use them at the same time, they switch. If they are using them individually, they didn't switch. So I hate
So
when
you're
people
telling
are
me
saying
during like a big fight, like during like a big like group fight, when Captain Marvel's flying around. I'm trying to think of an exact scene. There was an exact scene in my head that I remember.
because there isn't many.
There was a scene where there was a lot of stuff happening all over the place, and I was thinking, there's no way they're not using their powers at the same time.
The whole point,
Well-
like Kamala had that scarf. That's actually a comic
Yeah,
thing, so
because
that
she
didn't bother
wasn't
me.
using her powers
So she
intentionally.
wasn't
and
using
then right
her
when she
powers?
did, she ended up with the bad guy.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody is
Okay.
saying that, like, oh my god, it's so inconsistent. They use their powers all the time and don't switch. But that didn't even bother me. It was literally, they explained it. They said when they use them at the same time, that's when it happens.
So the problem I have with that isn't whether or not it's consistent. I just thought it was more interesting when they didn't know how to do it. I thought that was better. Once they had it down and they used it intentionally, it made it like way less entertaining for me. Like
I
I
kinda
liked the
liked-
fight when they were accidentally changing, but once they knew how to do it, it didn't.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of
wasn't
funny
fun
watching
to
them
me
switch
anymore.
and they get like punched in the face.
Yeah, that's why I really liked that first fight when they were switching on accident. Once they learned how to do it on purpose, I no
Mhm.
longer cared.
It's a good thing they ended that fight by when they were all switching on accident, where they all needed to be to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked,
I also really liked the the part where she was flying and they switched and she just got dropped.
Almost
I thought
killed
that-
her.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny though.
Yeah. Kamala, all of her reactions and stuff to everything was really funny. She does a good
They're
job.
pretty. Yeah, they were good. Especially
Yeah,
the ones
she
with like
was
the
the best
cat.
part.
Yeah, Iman Vellani's the best. I like her a lot.
I also like that part, like like I said, she was falling, and then last second it switches back to Captain Marvel, and she slams into the ground, and Nick Fury goes, "Oh, it's only Carol."
yeah.
We're good. It's Carol.
Oh, that reminds me of Nick Fury. He didn't do shit
Yeah,
this
he
whole
sucked.
movie.
He was just
bad.
an idiot.
He was comedic relief, which he shouldn't have been.
Yeah, they.
I mean, I
ruined
liked
Fury.
the one joke, but yeah, after that,
Secret Invasions ruined Fury.
Yeah, and they just
that's not
carried
what it's
on
called.
with it.
I don't care to say its name right.
Why?
But-
Like, just seemed
Didn't
that
like
you're
that
just
shit.
adding more letters, though. You're giving yourself more work.
Anyway, so I'm trying to think. I don't think it was terrible. I did not think it was a terrible movie. I actually had fun while I was watching it, but I don't think it was anything special. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was necessarily good. It was just okay, and I wasn't like when I'm trying to think of movies that it was worse than. Like
I would never
say,
see it again.
I would say
I might watch the first half again and then turn it off.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say
fair. Right when they get to the singing.
I would say Quantum Mania is worse than this. I think, in my opinion,
To me, it's about the same as Quantumania, but Thor is
Yeah.
worse.
Thor
is worse.
Thor: Love and Thunder is worse than this. The original Captain Marvel is worse than this.
Yeah, I guess
Um,
it's a slight improvement over that one. I like it more than Black Widow. I really do not like Black Widow.
I think it's like on the same level as Black Widow for me. And then I think it's worse. I think the first Thor movie, Thor 1, is worse than this. I think
Yeah, probably.
it's like Iron Man 2 level. Like I think it's about as good as that movie. I don't think Iron Man 2 is very good either.
I would say it's as good as that movie in terms of the general story, but I think
Yes.
that movie has better characters.
Yeah, Tony carries it, yeah, but I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's just like this one. Like Tony carries Iron Man 2, and then
Kamala.
what's her name? Ms. Marvel carries this one, but she doesn't carry it as hard as he did.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. I can agree, like give or take. One thing that's kind of interesting about this is so it has the lowest opening of all time of any MCU movie. So it opened at like 47 million at the box office over the weekend or something, like roughly. I'm not sure exactly the number.
Isn't that worse than what they projected it to be?
Well, yeah. It's the worst MCU opening of all time. Of course it's going to be worse than what they projected.
I mean, thing is, I don't think that has anything to do with the movie being good or bad. I think that's just because it's characters no one cares about.
I think that is part of it, but I also think
I think people are tired of all of the mediocre like Marvel movies and stuff coming out, and they just don't see it being worth their time.
yes,
They think it's going to be bad.
yeah, it's a combination of all of those things, and the internet ruined it too before it even got out. Like everybody was talking about on the internet how it's so bad and all of these things, and people saw it early, and it was like, oh my god, this is the worst thing Marvel's ever done. It's definitely not the worst thing they've ever done. There's definitely
Thor
things that are
is.
worse, but it is in that like bottom tier of stuff. Like it's not groundbreaking in any way. But so yeah, the worst opening
Thing is,
of all time for MCU.
it ends up being like an average level one, not level Marvel movie, but like a middle of the road just movie in general, because the first half was good and the second half was terrible. So it like balances out to okay, but none of it was actually okay. Cuz it was good and then really bad. It was never just okay.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to say, not that these are like a great bar to measure things by, but Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score is a 61%, the audience score is an 84%, that's pretty good.
That's surprising, but
So the people that have seen the movie seem to like it.
yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm tired of the whole comedic superhero movie.
yeah, I mean,
Marvel's been doing.
then you better not like Deadpool.
Okay, well, that's a different type of humor, and it's built into his character.
I don't know. I feel like it's not the comedic stuff that bothers me about the Marvel right now. It's just bad writing. I think that they just aren't telling compelling stories right now. Or like the one thing that you always say, Bert, about how like this movie could have never happened and everything would be the same. Like there's too much of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Ashton said that, I think.
All we did was get rid of a character everyone forgot existed.
That is true, yeah.
That wasn't introduced into a TV show that
So yeah,
some people watched.
Exactly. So it's like, I mean, I guess you could say like now she knows Captain Marvel as well. That's probably the biggest thing that came out of this that will actually matter.
Yeah, and we got to see Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel like in the MCU like properly
On the big
alongside.
screen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's a tragedy for her. Like, imagine you get into Marvel and you're like one of the few actual good characters, and they just
But you're
throw
just
you in these
surrounded by-
dog shit movies every
Yeah.
shows. Like,
The audience likes you, but you just get put into terrible movies.
Yeah. It is kind of sad. So I think we've covered a lot of most. Do you guys want to talk about that scene with the cats at the end?
there were two
Good thing
terrible
those
scenes.
freshly born alien kittens knew to eat the people and not digest them.
Thing is, like, the singing and the cat thing were so bad, like almost to the level of the goats from
Yeah.
Thor,
Yeah.
and they lasted so long.
The cat one lasted a long time. The singing one didn't last that long. That one was over pretty
It
quick.
felt long.
It does feel longer than it is, but realistically, it was not very long. But the cat thing, yeah, that thing went on. For anybody that doesn't know, like, they ran out of escape pods on their space station, and they didn't have enough escape pods for the amount of people that they had on the space station. But Goose the cat laid alien cat eggs and hatched a bunch of fleur kittens. That's what I'm going to call them. And they figured
And they
that
all knew.
it would be better to just have the kittens eat all of the people on the space station and then put all the kittens on a space pod because they could fit easier than the humans could. So
Because they compact.
I actually wouldn't have minded that if they just like showed it eating one person and then skipped to like it being done, and they're like, "Okay, we did it," you know. But it took so long to happen that
it was
I was
a
like, "Why
literal
am I watching
montage,
this?"
yeah, of just kittens
And
running
then
around.
like the announcement was like, let the florgans eat you.
Yes, let the
whatever they're
kittens
called.
eat you. It is all safe.
Stop running and let them eat you.
That kind of was funny.
I got a little chuckle out of me.
I mean, the whole cat thing actually would have been funny if it lasted like 30, 45 seconds, but it had to be like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it
They
did go for
overdraw
too
out
long.
their jokes.
Yeah.
It happened with me at Quantum Mania with the whole "don't be a dick" thing. It would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
funny if it was like a brief "don't do this," but then it continued
I really
for
dislike
like a
Quantum
solid
Mania.
5 minutes.
I really
I didn't
dislike
even
Thor.
have fun watching Quantum Mania. This movie I had fun. Like I was able to like enjoy
I had
parts.
fun not because it was a
Quantumania,
Marvel
I
movie,
did not.
but because it was just a movie.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the post-credit stuff.
We got to
So,
see someone from the best Marvel show.
Anyway, so like that wasn't even a post-credit. That was actually in the movie. But at the end of the movie, it was like should have been a post-credit scene, but they put it at the end. Miss Marvel is
He's
in
the
a
new
dark
Nick
room.
Fury.
Yeah, basically she's the new Nick Fury. And
That
she's in a-
actually was funny.
Yeah, we get a
That-
scene
yeah, that
of
was.
Lucky the pizza dog sitting on a chair, and he gets a piece of pizza, and then in through the door walks Kate Bishop from Hawkeye. And so we get the reveal of Kate Bishop, and then in the shadows is sitting Iman Vellani, which is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and she has like Nick Fury's tablet from the beginning of the movie that has like information on all like the superpowered or like superhero individuals. And
People of interest.
yeah,
The
so
Shield.
Miss
Or
Marvel
whatever.
is like, I'm putting together a team. And she's kind of like spoofing on the whole post-credit scene from Iron Man 1, where Nick Fury shows up to Iron Man. He's like, Mr. Stark, you've become part of a world that's much bigger than you've realized, or whatever he says.
She even did. She was like, "You become a part of a universe much
She
bigger."
said, she's like,
I
"You think
literally
you're
just
the
said
only
that.
kid superhero out there?"
Yeah. And then Kate's
And
like,
then she
I'm
goes,
23.
"I'm 23." That's a
And-
side note here, though. They're gonna body her again because they're doing this Young Avengers thing. So she's gonna be on another team of mid-ass characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Kate. I like Kate Bishop.
Kate's good.
Yeah. Okay. So both of them get bodied then because what else do they have? They have fake Iron Man, which sucks. they have that kid that they called Black Kid from that one show.
We don't know,
I forgot what it's called.
We don't know if he's going to be in it, but so the potential roster would be, it's going to be like a mix of the Young Avengers and the Champions, which is another team that Miss Marvel's on. They'll probably just call it the Young Avengers because the Avengers name is like more iconic. But basically the potential roster would be Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop,
Those two are good.
maybe Eli Bradley from Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I don't know if they're even planning to use him or not. He's not been talked about at all. The Scarlet Witch is 2 kids, so Billy and Tommy.
Yeah, those annoying ass kids that sing about ice
What are their
cream. That
powers?
they sing about ice cream.
Oh yeah, they just make their enemies want to kill themselves.
No, Billy is Billy. I forget which is which. One of them has
They're not
super
even real.
Yes, they're gonna be. So one of them is gonna has super speed like Quicksilver, and the other one basically has the same powers as Wanda, but just like on a lower level.
The point is, they were annoying as hell in the show. So
Well, it's not gonna.
there's
It's not
two
even gonna
shitty
be.
characters.
It's not even gonna be the same actors. They're gonna be aged up, and they're gonna be older. So it's gonna be like they're gonna be like 2 different
They
characters.
like
basically.
chocolate ice cream.
And so
Yeah, they
those
sing
2,
about ice
maybe Scar, Hulk's son from. Actually, you guys haven't seen that, have you?
Oh, good. Hulk. What a
Yeah.
great character.
Well, it's not Hulk, but it's his son.
Oh, good. Someone even worse than Hulk.
How do you know if you haven't even seen him?
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk isn't a young Avenger. Why? She's a grown woman.
She's worse than Hulk.
Anyway, Cassie from Ant-Man.
She
Ant-Man's daughter.
sucked in that movie.
And
She caused every single problem because she can't freaking listen.
yeah.
Well, the old lady could have spoken up a bit sooner too about the whole situation down in the quantum verse.
Yeah, look,
Quantum
the point
realm.
is
Okay.
the girl's getting bodied again. She's going to be with boring characters and Kate Bishop. So hopefully the 2 of them can carry that team because the rest of them sound lame.
You don't know if Scar is going to be lame. We don't know if Billy and Tommy are going to be lame. We don't know if maybe Riri Williams. I don't know. We didn't get a lot of Riri.
We already know she's lame.
in
She
Black
was pretty
Panther.
lame. She pulled the same as this nameless girl in this movie where she just knew everything.
Yeah. But so they set up a Young Avengers kind of teaser thing, which could be interesting. And then the big one, like the actual post-credit scene, was Monica wakes up in the other universe and she's being taken care of, and she sees that it's her mom, but it's not really her mom because she's in another universe. But it turns out in that universe, her mom is the one that gets the powers of Captain Marvel, and she's actually wearing the binary costume from the comics, which is a form like that Captain Marvel can take on when she's like super powered. So she has that costume. That's like a cool comics reference. And it seems like, so we've had like 2 alternate universes now where Carol isn't Captain Marvel. So it seems like Carol is kind of like the outlier. Like she's usually not supposed to be.
Unique scenario.
Yeah, the one that gets the powers. And so Monica freaks out and she's like, oh my God, Mom. And her mom's confused and she doesn't get it. And then we get the reveal that Beast from the X-Men is taking care of her. And they get
He looked kind of rough.
He looked what?
He looked kind of weird to me.
Like how?
I don't know. I didn't like the way he looked. He looked CG.
Oh,
I
it
don't
is
really remember.
it is CGI. But we get Beast and it's the same actor from the original X-Men movies is playing him. And then
You mean
that
the
was
ones
cool.
that are considered bad?
those ones are considered the better ones.
They're not good. There's like 2 good ones.
X-Men and X2 and Days of Future Past, those 3 are like some of the best superhero movies ever.
X1 is fine. Days of Future Past is good. X2 sucks.
X2 is like universally considered one of the best superhero movies, and it's considered the best of the X-Men movies.
I liked the X-Men movies for the most part.
The ones that are bad is when they did the reboot thing with the younger version of the team. First Class is
I
alright.
might be thinking of the wrong ones then.
Yeah, I think you might be. Because the older ones are actually not super bad. But, and then we get, like, the X-Men logo from the mansion, like the door.
Oh, yeah, on the door. Yeah, I mean,
Hank,
like, I guess that was cool, but it's not like it shows you much.
Yeah, and Hank says that Charles is waiting for an update. So there's Professor X is confirmed to be in that universe too. So that's another thing that's kind of cool. It seemed kind of like a little like a wink at the audience, like we know you guys want the X-Men, like they're coming. So, but it doesn't like give you
Seems like
a
hey,
lot.
don't leave yet. They're coming.
Yeah, the X-Men cannot come soon enough. So hopefully that happens soon. I think that's pretty much it for the Marvels. Unless you guys have anything else, we can kind of get into our scores for the movie.
No, I've said
I'm
enough.
ready to continue.
Okay, who wants to start? Give me your guys.
I will give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay, so you thought it was below average.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm going to go with a 4 as well. That freaking singing and cat part just like plummeted it down. I think before the singing part, I'd probably have it at a 6. And then
It felt paced weird.
after that,
Pacing
it just
felt weird.
dropped.
It goes really quick, so yeah, the pacing's a little off because it speeds up pretty fast once you get out of the second act.
Speeds up and then it's like slow and then speeds and then it slows and then it's fast for the rest.
I think it just starts off slow and then it zooms right to the end, pretty much. But I'm a little bit more generous. I gave it a 5. I was leaning towards a 6, but I think it's just like I think a 6 is slightly above average or like good, but I don't know if it did it long enough to warrant that, so I'm just going with average.
If something's a 6, you can watch it again.
I mean, I could watch it again.
Watch this movie.
If it like when it
At least
comes on
anytime
Disney,
soon.
when it comes on Disney Plus, like I could see myself watching it again.
I'll only watch it if I see it with someone that hasn't seen it before.
Yeah, that's probably the only way I would do it too. But yeah, so you guys gave it 4s. I gave it a 5. I gave it like a 5.5. That was all right. But that's it. Yeah, that's our review of the Marvels. Nothing spectacular, really. Was not marvelous.
Wait for it to come out to watch it at home. Don't go see it.
I think you can go see it. You can have a good time.
It depends. If you care for Marvels, like the Marvel like genre and movies and whatever, go see it. But if you're just a casual moviegoer,
I think it's the opposite.
Hard.
I think the people that are the Marvel fans hate it more than actual casual moviegoers. I think the casual fan that just going to the movies with their kids would probably enjoy it more.
Yeah, I think
maybe
I
I
agree
had it
with
backwards. Yeah, I guess I had it backwards in my head.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. I'm getting bored just talking about it.
Yeah, I want to talk about the next topic.
Yeah, talk about something I care about.
Me too.
Okay, let's move on.
So, Bert.
Yes.
He has finally watched season 1 of Invincible 3 years later.
Finally.
Yeah, I
What'd
did
you think?
Invincible. I watched season 1. It was super good. I liked it a lot.
I think
the hype was about.
I think
putting it
season 1
off.
of Invincible is actually just okay until the last 2 episodes that make it like a legendary show.
Yeah. The last 2 absolutely stand out the most.
Yeah, like it's a good show, but the last 2 are what make it like up there in like the top tier, I feel like.
Yeah, episode 1's great. Episode 1 is really good also. Trying to remember all of the episodes.
The twist in the beginning.
Actually, I think it's
Cool.
episode 5 or something when he fights like that lion guy. That's a good one.
Yeah, that one's also good.
The worst one, in my opinion, of season 1 is that college one because it has the most Amber.
Yeah,
I
and
hate
it's like the
Amber
most
so
disconnected from
much.
everything else that's going on.
You know what's so funny? He was watching the movie or the show, and I was there, and I was like, God, I hate Amber. And he's like, give her a break. She doesn't even know he's a superhero. That's the, like, he's like, she doesn't know he's invincible. That's the only reason she's getting mad. And then, like, the next episode, she's like, I know you're a superhero. And he's like, oh, I guess she is just a bitch.
Mad?
Yeah, that's when I was like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this person?
She was just, yeah, she was mean.
But
yeah, I don't like Amber either. I hope she
before
gets...
we get more into season 2, though, they've like 180'd her personality in season 2. She's like so nice in season 2.
So far she seems more likable, but I still don't trust it.
Yeah,
I hope they just write her out eventually. I don't like Amber, even in season 2.
Yes, I like Eve more.
In the comics, she is like such a minor player. Like they have a thing for like a little bit, but it does not last long at all.
Yeah, but back to season 1, I think we should specifically talk about just the ending before we move on to season 2.
Oh, the absolute body slam Mark gets?
So, let me ask you this, though. Is it Mortal Kombat that finally convinced you to watch this?
No, it was more because season 2 was coming out and I wanted to be caught up.
Okay. Well, the last 2 episodes of season 1 are so goddamn good. Like, because the whole season is basically just like, you know, getting you more on edge about Omni-Man. You're like, man, this is gonna be crazy when he goes off, and then when he finally
to their like
goes
eventual
off.
confrontation is really good.
And I think like the dialogue between Mark and Omni-Man in those last 2 episodes is like so good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Like specifically the line that like sticks out to me is when he is like beating the shit out of Mark in the Think Mark scene, and he's like, what will you have after 500 years? And then Mark hits him with like the fucking god tier iconic line. Yeah, great line.
And then he flies away.
Yeah, that line at the end goes crazy. That is probably the best one. And it hits you right in the feels, too. You, like, really get, like, emotional for Mark, and you feel so bad for him. And it, like, hits Omni-Man, too. Like, right after Mark says that, like, you can tell, like, he's,
stops fighting.
Yeah, he kind of gives up and just flies off, and you're just wondering, and he's crying, too, as he's leaving.
Well, I think he literally just never thought about that.
Yeah, so you're probably right. I don't think he did either.
Like, he's like, we'll have nothing in 500 years, so I might as well just be loyal to Viltrum. And when Mark told him that, he's like, fuck, that's true.
I can't go back now.
Yeah. That one definitely hits hard. And the Think
They're
Mark.
both such good voice actors, too.
Yeah, that cast is pretty good for the most part. I think the voice acting's solid for the most part throughout all of it. I know a lot of those names, too, and from other things.
I like how they do the title card.
I like that too.
Yeah, I do like that.
I know it's like
cool
a big
touch.
meme. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the meme where it's like someone's like doing how invincible title cards are, and it's just someone talking and then a title card because of like hard cut to it. You know how it does?
Yeah.
That's like a big meme, but I really like the blood thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, they're doing a different one with season 2. Do you guys want to like start talking about season 2 now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
But first, the train, right? God tier.
Oh my god, that was
The whole Chicago
scene.
fight is crazy.
Yeah. Like when he's holding the building and he can't do anything. Just the fact that, like, honestly, in pretty much every single step of the way in season 1, Mark fails. Like, he pretty much never succeeds at anything.
Yeah, he just gets his ass beaten literally for about 90% of the show. Not even 90%. He gets his ass beat the entire show.
Yeah, like the only fight I think he wins is in that college episode.
Yeah, and he still gets his ass beat. And it's only because the one robot like ends up turning on the other ones, or the cyborg guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like the ending of the show, Mark's like, what does he say? He's like, I don't give a shit about Viltrum. Like, just, I don't know. His voice acting in that part is so good.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't care if I live a fucking million years.
Yeah, that was good. All right, let's talk about season 2. I think we're 2 episodes into season 2 now.
I think it starts off so strong.
Yeah, episode 1 for sure.
I know the first episode. Oh my god.
Episode 1 for sure starts off really strong.
I like how they were teasing the title card.
Yeah, right. They totally were.
They even called it out
because people like memed it so much. They like tease it. That's why. Which is just a funny like self-aware joke, I think.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
But,
so we kind of pick up like
that
with
beginning part where it's like an alternate area, really good.
Alternate universe.
That was cool to see. Part of me thought, oh boy, another multiverse.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
enjoying
exactly
this one.
what it is.
But so far,
Wait, what do you mean, oh boy, another multiverse? That is exactly what it is. It is another multiverse.
Yeah. But
Well,
it actually
everything's
is
doing it
interesting.
now. Fucking Barbie did a multiverse.
Oh, I get
So I was just
what you're saying.
thinking,
I was asking
oh
why
boy,
you said
another
it like
one.
that.
What do you mean? He's
I
saying
just-
he was like, "Oh, great, another one," but then it actually ended up being interesting.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
I
because
get it now.
there's still stakes in the universe I care about.
I
Yeah.
think part of it is because that like it's tied to one character, right? So if that guy dies, the multiverse
Yeah,
is no
it's like-
longer an issue.
It's like what they did in the Spider-Man movie, Across the Multiverse or whatever. Like they do the multiverse pretty well because they make me care
Spider-Verse.
about Spider-Verse. Yeah, they make me care about
Yeah, I know what you mean.
one universe.
Yeah.
But something that I think is super super cool about this like multiverse idea for Invincible is that it is abnormal for Mark to be a good guy.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
yeah,
That was
he's
cool.
like the outlier. He's like the not common one.
Yeah, so I think that is super cool how like our main Mark, it's not normal that he goes against his dad and is good. Normally they say they don't say exactly, but they say in pretty much all other universes, I think they say most, you took over the planet with your dad.
It's pretty. I wonder what's different that resulted in him not joining his dad.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know.
I wonder
But
what his
it's
mom's
really-
like in the
Mom
other
show
universes.
him a bit more love.
So then like the
Maybe the time he got his powers.
maybe, I don't know, but the way season 2 kind of starts off is like Mark is basically just like totally defeated, just like flying
hollow
around. Yeah, that's a
person.
good way to say it actually. He's fucked up after that whole thing.
He has no will.
And I think they do a really good job at showing that in that beginning area.
Mm-hmm. Especially when like they like he sees like certain like marks of destruction from like the fight and whatever.
Yeah, and he starts getting flashbacks basically.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's cool how they show his mom grieving too and going through her. Basically finding out she was someone's pet for 30 years.
it was only 20.
Okay. Still. I don't think that would feel very good.
Yeah. That's another
Yeah, that
character
would
that
be
gets...
rough.
They do a good job of making you care about multiple characters in the show. Like, you care about Eve, you care about Mark, you care about Omni-Man, you care about his mom.
Yeah, Eve's dad, kind of a dick, but
Eve's
brutally
dad
honest.
is honestly a dick. Like, I get he's like, man, I wish you weren't a superhero, but you could be nicer about saying that.
Yeah, Eve is probably my favorite character.
Eve was not my favorite character until the Eve special. When I watched that, she became my favorite character.
I didn't realize
Her
how powerful
backstory
she was.
is awesome.
I didn't realize how powerful she was
She
until I
seems
watched
powerful,
the Eve
but she
special.
can make anything from...
Yeah,
anything.
you got to watch that. That's honestly like I would say that's probably like if you consider it as just an episode, it's probably the third best episode after the last 2 of season 1.
Yeah, that episode is crazy. It goes hard.
And it
Alrighty.
also I think has like just the most creative use of superpowers of any of the episodes.
Yeah, and it's so emotional. Like you feel so much for Eve in one episode. It's crazy.
It's good.
Gotta
One of the
watch
best
it.
episodes.
I agree.
But also, like season 2 starts off. I just want to say this because I thought it was so funny. They show like an alternate reality, dimension, universe, whatever, of Mark being paired with Omni-Man as like they're taking over the world together. I freaking love that. Watching that, like, even though it's like tragic that they're murdering the world, it's also like wholesome at the same time to see them like
Father-son
bonding.
bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line
And
where
there's
he
this
goes,
really funny part. You gonna say the same one?
probably the one about the protesters.
Yeah, say it. That shit is so
Yes,
funny.
he breaks the alternate universe's Eve's neck, and
Because he didn't
he's
want to
like,
kill her.
"Wow, I can't believe you killed her." He's like, "Oh, she's not dead. She's only paralyzed." And then Omni-Man goes,
I can still visit.
"Yeah." And then Omni-Man goes, "Oh, so that's what you were working on with those protesters the other day."
That was a good line.
I love the idea that Omni-Man was just watching Mark break a bunch of protesters' necks, and he was like, "Kids."
Wonder what he's up to
No,
over
and
there.
I could just imagine Mark, like, he breaks one and he kills him. He's like, "Fuck!" And he just keeps going over and over.
Damn it.
It's like, damn it, another
I just
one.
Trying to
love how
perfect it.
casual they are, though. He's like, "All right, so sorry, but you're all gonna have to die now."
Yeah, like, it's just like, I
That
don't
is
want to
kind of
do it,
how
but
Omni-Man acts,
I know
though.
what it has to be done.
Like that disconnect. Like,
Yeah.
you're all rebelling against Viltrum. You shall die now.
I love it. I love everything about that episode, but basically that's just its way of showing you there are other universes.
Well, it sets up the villain, too, in a way.
I mean, kind of, but that's not the main villain.
I mean, it looks like he's going to be the main villain for this season.
No, but that's
Yeah.
not him. That's just one of the ones he needs the mind of.
Well, that's presumably the one that is driving most of the anger. Or I guess all of them would be. But it establishes why so many... Oh, I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Scientist?
hundreds of them that Angstrom Levy is his name. There's hundreds of them that hate Mark and Omni-Man because that's the normal, that those guys are terrible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're showing...
I'm just saying
why...
the actual main one that makes the portals is not that one.
No.
Well, okay, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Because he steals that guy from that universe, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, because you know how... I was just trying to say, like, how at the end when it all goes wrong, and they all, like, all the memories merge, that makes sense why so many of...
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why he's basically wanting to kill Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Not Omni-Man, Invincible now.
Well, because, yeah, that's the normal. But anyways, with that, we kind of skipping ahead. Basically,
Sorry.
we come to realize that there are more universes, and then what are the guys called? I can't remember. The blue guys.
The Mahler brothers? Or the Mahler
twins?
twins?
Yeah,
or
the
whatever?
Mahler twins. Yeah, so someone opens a portal to like break them out of their freaking jails again. And it's like
After a little conversation with the guard.
yeah. And basically it's, you know, we find out there's this guy that can basically the Spot from Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what it is.
And he breaks the twins out because they're the only ones across the multiverse that has perfected, like, what is it, like the brain merging technology thing?
Yeah, whatever you call that stuff.
I don't know how, like, the way he's able to make
He just
clones.
wants them to build some shit for him to get the information from all of the versions of him into one body so he can like save all the universes.
know how to fix every problem.
Obviously it doesn't go well.
Yeah, and he instead wants to kill Invincible
Yeah.
as revenge for all the times basically the other versions of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destroy
'cause-
And
the
Mark's
world.
dealing with like the
'Cause-
whole thing of not wanting to be like his dad, like worrying about he's going to turn out like him.
That's going to be such a
Cecil.
big reveal to him when he finds out that like he's supposed to be evil normally.
Yeah. And then he's going to
Yeah.
think that he's going to become that.
That's
Yeah.
going to be awesome.
That's pretty much it for episode 1. Episode 2 is like not as big of a one. It feels like a little bit more of like a side project thing episode going on. He goes to Atlantis. Thinks
Oh,
he has
yeah.
to kiss
with
a fish.
that cool fight.
It's basically just him getting back into actually working for like Cecil again.
Yeah.
He's trying to like
Get
get
a
trying to
Cecil
prove
to
himself.
know.
Amber thing.
And then I
Who
think
cares
this
about
is
Amber?
this now hints towards things that are in the comics where, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Omni-Man, Invincible, Viltrumites in general have a weakness to sound.
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed.
Cecil like takes note
Cecil
of
at
that.
the end of the episode noticed, and he was like, "Get that down to research and development."
Yeah, so we're like shown a brief
We're finally
moment of
starting
that.
to get to their weakness.
Yeah, turns out they're just symbiotes.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
what's his name? Immortal's back.
He has a
that
habit
I
of
actually
being
like.
that.
I actually liked that scene with him and Mark.
Yeah, the one
I
where he
don't
shows up
remember it.
on like the street.
Oh yeah,
the
Yeah,
one
and
you're
Mark's
talking
like,
about?
"Hey, buddy, I'm here to help if you ever need." I like that he's not just like, fuck you, I hate you. He's like, I'm just gonna be careful around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
I'm
basically
watching
just
you.
tells him he doesn't trust him and he's gonna be watching him.
Which honestly is reasonable after being killed twice by this guy's dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
he
so-
also leads the Guardians now.
Yeah, he's the new leader of the Guardians. But yeah, so far 2 good episodes. Season 1 was great, and hopefully season 2 can match that. So far so good. I'm liking it. So we will
Yeah.
see what happens. We'll keep covering
Yeah,
Invincible as it goes, so we'll keep talking about it.
We're
week to
probably
week.
going to do a section like this of 2 episodes because we do it every other week. So we'll go over 3 and
Next time
4,
will be
then
episodes-
5 and 6. I think it's only going to be 8 episodes, but I don't know.
Yeah, and there's supposed to be a break after the first 4, so
Next time we might, depending on whether or not Bert watches it, we might also talk about the Adam Eve special.
yeah, that's pretty quick.
But that's a
I'll
good
probably watch it.
It is good, but yeah, it'd be nice to talk about that real quick. I think that we're almost done then. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Do you guys have anything as far as like what you guys have been up to or anything like that?
I 100%ed Sonic Origins, so I have switched my attention over to Sonic Mania, which is better in every way. And I'm playing Halo again. Shocker.
Yeah.
I've started reading a new book. It's called Murtaugh.
Murd Dog?
And Murtaugh.
Is that one word or
About-
2?
He's not
One.
sure. He just figured out how to say it today.
Yeah, I put it in Google Translate, so
Is that a thing
Doing
or is
what it
it a
says.
name or?
it's a name of a. So you know Aragon? I think I've talked about briefly.
Yeah,
the
I know.
series.
Well, I know what it is. Even
So he
without you
has-
telling me.
So the dude has a brother, and the book follows his brother a year after the main series ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah,
For
there's
me,
more world stuff and different plots.
I finally finished Spy Family. I finished season 1.
Let's go.
Finally finish your homework from like episode 1.
I mean, it's not like a crazy legendary show. It's just one of those like
It's
relaxing. Like you watch it when you're not feeling good today.
Yeah. If it was 15 episodes instead of 25, I would have been perfectly fine with that. But it dragged a little bit at points because there's some episodes where literally nothing happens. But then the episodes where
I
stuff
just love
does
it.
happens, I like it a lot better.
My favorite, one of my favorite was when she had the castle.
Where what?
Oh, when he's like role playing Bondman or something.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that
early.
was a good
That's
one.
like one of the first like 8 episodes or something like that.
I think one of the best parts was just the insanely over dramatic tennis match.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
too.
that one was pretty good.
I like it when the dog's there.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that dog.
I like the
Anyone
dog, too.
have anything you're gonna be doing between now and the next one? Like we'll get 2 more episodes of Invincible, but anyone doing anything interesting?
I don't think so.
I want to try to watch Adam Eve.
I would say
Right.
try and
Probably
watch
start
Loki
Loki.
too if you guys can. That show is really good.
I'll probably start it, but I don't think I'll be finishing it by then.
I'll start it, but I'm not going to promise it'll be done.
No, yeah, at least start it. It's pretty good.
Something I want to do for our next episode. So this is probably going to be what our next episode is. The Game Awards came out with like their nominations for all the different categories. So on our next one, we'll probably go through at least like the bigger ones, Game of the Year, action game, RPG, stuff like that.
Any ones that
and
we
then
care about.
see like what we think might win or what we want to win.
And debate
Yeah.
it. And
That'll be a good for. You want to do that next episode or like the next
one
regular
of these.
episode?
Yeah.
Have we decided on what we are going to do for our new like bonus thing for like the empty week?
Did we explain that to people?
We explained it
but
last
we never
episode.
picked
We
what
had
it
like
was
a
gonna
poll.
be.
Some people responded to the poll, so thank you. That helps.
Forgot to look at the poll.
Yeah. Your guys' comments in the comment section also help. That is a big help for us. Anytime you guys interact with that, it helps. If you guys can give us a rating on Spotify and a review on Apple Podcasts, that is also a big help. Reviews are really big. They help push the show to the front. So that helps.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, so next
Oh
week
my
we will
God.
have...
I totally forgot about some huge news. Did you get? We'll do it real quick. Did you guys see that they announced a Legend of Zelda movie?
Oh, I did hear about this.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
So, I mean-
that's exciting.
If it's equalish quality to the Mario one, it'll at least be
That'd be
decent.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be good.
I
I like the
honestly
Mario
think
movie.
that a Zelda movie has a higher chance of having like an actual interesting story than a Mario one.
I agree. Yeah, there's more of a
There's just more there
Hero's
to work
journey.
with.
sort of thing to follow.
So
Yeah.
that should be exciting. Anyways,
The plumber.
sorry, that was kind of late, but that's probably like the biggest news, honestly, of the week.
Anyway,
Back to our other thing. So
Anyway,
we'll figure out
but-
what we're doing for this next bonus.
yeah. So we're
You'll
gonna
find out when we publish it.
we're gonna start a new series that'll be airing next week, and hopefully you guys like that. We are gonna go to the week, so there will be some type of Saltcast content every week now. So hopefully you guys all like that. You guys can email us at thesaltcastpod@gmail.com if you guys have questions. If you guys want to just talk to us, I look at that. So you can reach us there. You can talk to us there. Interact with the polls. Leave a rating. Vote on all of the polls and everything. And we want to try and keep building a community where we can start to engage with our listeners more and hopefully connect listeners to other people.
Basically, we want more than one fan,
Yeah.
but we still
Yeah.
love that one fan.
We appreciate
Yeah, tell your
you.
friends, tell your coworkers, tell your everybody, so we can
Go
continue
make
to
more
build
friends
this thing.
only to tell them.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's keep building our Saltcast community.
And watch
You-
Invincible instead of the Marvels.
Yes, it's much better. Spend
Yeah.
your time.
We will see you guys next time.
Keep it salty.